All right, what's going on, guys? Let's jam on TRT. I am deciding to go on it. More importantly, I think in this video, you'll be able to find some correlating thoughts that you're thinking about when it comes to optimizing your energy. Maybe you haven't even thought about TRT. This is the first time you're thinking about it. You got some taboo. Is it steroids? Is it going to give me cancer? And of course, none of this is medical advice, and you probably shouldn't pay attention to anything I'm saying. But if you do care to hear, this is all just coming from uh, your everyday dad, entrepreneur, online business guy, got 3 kids. I want to be present for my family. I want to have energy so that I'm not one of those dejected, degenerate type of fathers. I want to be I want to be a good dad, right? Like all of us do. But we all know how it feels when you have low energy and everything feels heavy. You maybe feel depressed or have other words to describe it. That sucks as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a provider, right? All of these things that we want to be good at. If you don't have your energy, you can't do it. You feel like a failure. Ask me how I know. So that's the perspective I'm going to be sharing based on this channel's about helping you build your freedom business so you can live your free life, right? You can build your freedom business and have all this time freedom, bringing in 30, 100K a month profit. Everything looks good. You've got the freedom, but then you don't have your health. Man, that's a big bummer. Side note, I did not even make this presentation right here. I gave it the notes. I gave it the outline. I originally wrote it out in a Google Doc and I just gave it to Chat GPT. Figured I'd make it look cool. So if it says some weird shit, that ain't my fault, all right? Blame the AI. This is the first time I'm looking at it, but I assume it's pretty good, okay? I assume it's good. We're going to trust it at least to prompt me to remember what I wanted to talk about in this video. So what is it? I think that's a good place to start. For beginner people like myself, and the research I've been doing over the last 6 months is essentially it's replacing your testosterone, right? So your body makes testosterone. Most of us that number is declining, right? They say 1% a year, I don't know, after 30 or 35. I think what matters is how you feel. At least that's what matters to me, is like, how am I feeling? And for the last couple of years, like a lot of the fatigue stuff, that is a classic symptom of low testosterone. But yeah, it's a steroid technically, but it's a bioidentical hormone, meaning it's the same stuff your body already makes. You're just adding more of it, compared to like steroids, in the sense that we all think of steroids, which is like super unhealthy, is not bioidentical. It's the stuff made for like horses. That's where, from what I understand, a lot of the side effects come from. So it's not bioidentical. Like, that's just a new term I learned within the last few weeks. Like, okay, bioidentical hormones. And from this book, like, I got a lot of good stuff out of this book here. Dr. Kohlberg's Hormone Health Zone. But he just really harped on the fact that it's bioidentical, meaning it's the same stuff your body makes, essentially. It's just super similar, instead of being something that is not bioidentical, made for animals. So TRT is an exogenous hormone. You're putting it externally into your body, into circulation. Therefore, it's going to shut down the natural production, and the pituitary, or whatever, how that stuff works, your body's going to recognize that you have a sufficient amount of testosterone, and it's going to stop sending signals, which is from the pituitary gland, from what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. I ain't your science guru, okay? Then it shuts off the testicles. So the factories go offline, and they do not come back online unless you get off the exogenous testosterone, or you use other medication like HCG, which essentially counteracts. It just sends a signal to your body to keep the nuts online. But testosterone replacement therapy, the conclusion I had to come to is, and the decision I had to make was, this is forever. Yeah, this is lifelong. You're essentially going on for the rest of your life. And then that sounded ominous to me, but the thought, just outweighing the good old pros and cons, man. Like, if this really is as good as everybody talks about, it's just makes sense that our bodies are declining with all the chemicals these days, and at this time, with all of the crap out there, that plastics, good old buzzwords, plastics, Plastics in your balls. Well, I have no idea how any of that works, but apparently it's making us suffer. The thought of having more energy and having the um, energy, really, that's really what matters to me. To show up to life, to be there for my children, to be there for my wife. Like, if that's the case, then all good. Let's do that. Why would I ever want to come off? Like people that have type 1 diabetes, their body doesn't produce the insulin. They have to take exogenous insulin, right? So for those who have low testosterone, I mean, you can live that way if you want, miserable, fatigue all the time, like you got a damn cloud over your head. But you've done all the things, right? You've done all the things, like you take care of your mind, you pray, and things lift. Sure, that's not the problem, right? Your mindset's not even the problem. It's literally just the hormones. And this isn't obviously for everybody, but this is the case that I have discovered for myself at after years of trying to figure out the fatigue. Like, man, I do take naps. I love me some mid-afternoon naps, but I feel like I should have more energy. And then just hearing the homies talk about it, right? Hearing friends that have got on the TRT and their experience. Like one of my clients in my business, he said it's like putting on glasses. You never knew you needed glasses, and then you put on glasses and then you started seeing like things clearly. He was saying that's how it is. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I want to feel that way. Yes, sir. Sign me up. And then another buddy here, Daniel, he got on the TRT, and he was just saying like he would be short with his kids. I think that's right. Uh, he, the main thing that stood out to me, he was talking about not having the energy to play with his kids, essentially. It's like, God, get home. I'm just tired from work, just feel drained, not want to go do things, just kind of wanted to sit at home and just. But when he got on, he's like, dude, it's crazy, bro. Like, I get home, I have energy to go play with my kids. Like, yeah, let's go do that. Let's go out back and play. Let's get on the floor and wrestle. And you're actually engaging with them. Like, that's what matters the most, right? That's what a freedom business is supposed to supply and facilitate, is that outcome. Being able to be present with your family, be a good dad, because that's what's going to imprint upon their lives, are these little moments of presence, right? Where you just make them feel heard, make them feel seen and loved. Like, that's what matters to me. So you got to look at your health. And I never even knew this would be a solution. So hopefully it sparks you to do your own research if you feel like you suffer from those symptoms. But that's where the seed was sown for me. I think that was like a couple years ago now, where I started thinking about it, watching YouTube videos, researching it. But I just never wanted to pull the trigger because, like I said, it was, this is a permanent decision, let alone the other fertility discussion. We could talk about that later. But I already covered that. That's what I just talked about. Like, this is the main purpose, is being able to be present with the family. That's what's up. So anyway, in January, I got my levels tested, right? I wanted to get the blood work done, do the full panel. And I came back at 590, which this is once again open to interpretation, but that's on the lower end. I know a lot of people are like at 200. I couldn't even imagine. Nevertheless, it's different for everybody. I believe from what I've seen, it's just how the symptoms are what matter. And the biggest thing for me is just the low energy, the fatigue, needing to take naps in the day, feeling like everything is a lot of effort. And but some days I would feel good, right? Some days I'd wake up well rested, ready to go, to take on the world, build a business, go on adventures. Other days I just feel like I got hit by a bus, and it feels like so random, right? So, I discovered what my numbers were. My free T was what was really low. I think it was like in the 50s. So free testosterone, for those of you that don't know, this is basically what is actually available for your body to use. You can go into the science and how it binds to the sex hormone binding globulin, and it keeps that testosterone on lock. Essentially, it doesn't let your body use it, it binds to it. So then I looked into, how do I free up more of my testosterone, right? Started taking magnesium and boron, the supplement, and that I felt like it kind of made a difference. But my digestive system didn't like the boron mineral. So that was tough to continue to take. So because I had decent testosterone, it wasn't like super, super low. I wanted to try everything I can do naturally, right? Resistance training, right? Hitting leg days, dude, not skipping the leg days. Keeps the testosterone boosted for sure. Uh, good sleep, eating clean, like less sugar. For me, that just means like less sugar, like not eating sugar. Uh, and then just trying those supplements. So that was in January. I've been doing that for like 6 months, and it's just not a huge difference. I still have those really predominantly feels like I'm in a brain fog type of thing as well, which I don't have the energy that I know I should. So that led me to where I'm at now. So 6, 7 months later. And I hit on this earlier. Like, what if some of this fatigue stuff isn't just mindset? It isn't just me being negative, and I just need to be more positive and just have a better outlook. Because I question this, and yeah, and I'm totally open to that too. And I'm like, and you can carry around a level of shame for believing that. Like, oh man, like what's wrong with me that I'm just feeling tired? Like, why am I just so negative? Right. So that could even further compound the problem with a shame spiral, which is definitely the lowest frequency of energy, therefore making you more tired, right? Because that's so true, man. How you think and your thoughts have so much energy attached to it. And if you're not like in alignment with your calling, like you're not being a branch to the vine, right? You don't have intimacy with Christ or the Holy Spirit or God, um, you know, then you won't have energy. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. And sometimes, conclusion, sometimes it's just physical and it's a hormone thing. For example, my wife, right? A year after having our baby, the old sex drive still didn't come back online. Like it was low libido for her. And it's not like she didn't want to, but it's just her body's not there. And then it's usually like around 2 years afterward where things just come back online. And it's like, oh, wow, this is amazing again. I didn't realize how amazing this could be. Anyway, sometimes it's a hormone thing if literally nothing else changes, no other variable changes, but all of a sudden the desire returns, the energy returns. That's because your body determines how you feel. The body determines the thoughts you think at times, right? If everything's good and balanced, like your thought life isn't going to be as much of a struggle as if you have low energy, low testosterone, low energy. Like, how much more difficult is it to think positively, right? Anyway, the only other alternative solution I looked at, besides the supplements, which I thought were all a scam, like the Tribulus, I've tried that stuff before, kind of just made me more edgy. The other thing I looked at is enclomiphene, which I actually bought some and just never ended up taking it. And clomiphene essentially causes the pituitary gland to send a higher degree of signal. I think it's like FH and LH or something. Don't quote me on that. But it signals, increases the signal to the old testes and supposed to ramp it up that way. Um, I just didn't want it. I've heard some side effects on that. I saw some comments about eye floaters, like permanent eye floaters, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Even if it's a 1% chance of messing with my vision, no siree, I do not want any part of that. So that was kind of honestly the main deciding factor. And I just no longer felt good about it. And oftentimes I trust my intuition. I believe God leads us by our peace. God leads us through our gut instinct and feeling, right? So I trust that for the most part and decided to go against it. All right, a little segue on cheating here. A little rant on the old cheating. Oh, you're such a little cheater. Always taking the shortcuts, right? Just being hasty, taking shortcuts, like you're going to destroy your body. Isn't that funny how people have that opinion? Like you see someone that is richer than you, and then you feel insecure about yourself, but you don't want to admit that. You don't want to admit you just feel really small inside and thus need to react and protect your ego from feeling this inferiority, right? God forbid someone be better than you at something. Oh no, he actually is better than me and he makes more money than me and he's got a better life than me. Um, why can't why can't we just admit that? Like there's always going to be someone better than me. There's always someone that's better, faster, stronger, better looking, makes more money than me, is funnier than me. There's always somebody there, right? So not that I'm some superior enlightened one that never feels that, right? Never feels insecure. I ain't saying that either. But these are some of the thoughts I think about, right? If I'm thinking through a decision, like, oh no, I'm gonna be called a cheater if people, because I play a lot of pickleball. Oh, the old pickleballers, dude, just like, oh, he's on them steroids, man. That's why he's so good now. Like everybody finds a reason to demean you. There's always going to be people that think that, right? So you have to come to conclusion. You have to come to terms with it, I guess, accept it. And I'm speaking about myself. I had to come to terms with like, yeah, that's fine, right? That's their opinion. I'm sure some people will think that about me. That the only reason I'm good at pickleball is because I'm on TRT. Like, that's fine. Who cares? You have to come to terms with letting people be, letting people do what they're going to do. My wife told me about this book, right? It's called Let Them. And it's the best book I've never read ever. She literally just told me about it. I'm like, oh, dude, I get the gist of it. You just let them be. And the whole book is about you can't control people. You can't control their judgments, if they understand you or not, what they believe about you, what they feel about you. Like, we need to stop wasting so much emotional energy concerning ourselves with the thoughts and opinions of others. And yeah, that shit's uncomfortable, man. Like, I prefer to be liked. I prefer to be enjoyed. I prefer not to be judged. I don't enjoy it. It's still triggering at times. The reality is freedom, though. Freedom, it's not about never feeling judged. It's not about being like the super soldier. I'm so impenetrable. I'm not vulnerable. You can't hurt me. I'm like, yeah, words do hurt sometimes. Okay, you're not that tough. You can lie to yourself all you want, and you can shut your heart down where you never feel anything, because that's a whole nother subject. If you shut one thing down, you shut it all down. The heart, that's how the heart rolls, man. You can't just isolate. I'm never going to feel shame anymore. I'm never going to feel judged anymore. I'm never going to feel heartbroken. Yeah, you do that, you ain't going to feel jack shit. You're going to be numb. And that's my, that's my ranting voice. Somehow some, somebody from the hood, somebody from the old hood, but a little country, I guess. I don't know. So at least this is how it's been for me. That's been my experience. Like, you can't just shut down everything. Like, it's better to acknowledge, yeah, that kind of hurt my feelings. Give myself compassion. That removes the shame and the shame, like something's wrong with me for feeling hurt that way. Because I want to keep my heart alive. That's where God speaks. So it's important to keep the heart tender, but essentially not letting the judgment or the accusation govern my decisions. After all, these fools, these judging a-holes, they don't pay the bills, they don't live my life, they don't sleep in my body. So why the F would I give a damn rip about what they say? Exactly. So I haven't even started yet, by the way. I'll be starting it next week. So I have high hopes. I could be let down. You never know. I feel pretty good. Like, I feel like I'm gonna feel amazing. Right? Like, that is my thesis. But there's always room for failure, and it could not make a big difference, right? It could not make any difference at all, and I still feel the same. But what I'm hoping for and what I desire is to have the energy for the life I already have, right? To engage. Anything I do is to engage, not anything. I escape, for sure. Movies, whatever, scrolling. But what I want more of is to be able to engage with my kids, to have that energy, to not feel like, oh, everything's such a hassle and it takes so much energy to just play with them, right? Because that's what they care about. Play with them, teach them, read them books, cuddle them, without my brain feeling like it's going to pass out, or like, just, how it is. Irritability. I want to be less irritable. I want to be less short and stop dreading every little task. I don't know if you've ever felt that way. Like, in business, it's kind of important that you get shit done, right? But if every task feels so heavy and you don't have the willpower to push through it, or the discipline to push through it, like, you ever notice, like, when you're in a good mood and you just come off a workout, like, you get more shit done, right? Just imagine having low testosterone, the thing that gives you your drive, that is your killer instinct, right? That is what drives your killer instinct: to hunt, to kill, to eat, right? That is how a man's supposed to feel, is to have that flowing through him, the warrior side of us. That's how we provide for our family. God uses that, and it is beautiful, a part of masculinity, right? To freaking go and slay kill, and eat. Like we need that drive. Like I want that healthy edge where it's just naturally comes out of you because your body's flowing with a healthy amount of testosterone. And let's get one thing straight. Like I'm not talking about super physiologic doses, meaning like freaking 2000 or whatever high level. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know the levels, then you know what I mean. That's a lot, right? We're not trying to go full steroids, get jacked, and just roid rage all day. Like, no, we want healthy levels of testosterone that should be in a man of my age, like at the levels of when I was 20, should be around 1,000, right? It should be around 1,200 from what I understand. I guess we'll find out, right? So I'm excited to share the journey. I'll post some updates because once again, I want to help you guys get some insights along your journey of optimizing your body, which your life, optimizing your life and your business so that you can enjoy this thing, right? So we're not always here just life is whack. It should be fun. This brings me to my other point is like, fuck average, bro. Like some people are like, why do you need all that? Like, why do you need it? Why do you need that? I remember one time my mom was going to take me shopping and I was like, I don't need new shoes. And she's like, what do you mean need? This ain't got nothing to do with need. So the analogy doesn't fully cross over, but it did something for me. I'm like, oh yes, like I could desire things. Like it doesn't have to be just the bare minimum of what I need to get by in life. I'm here to freaking optimize, dude. I want everything optimized to the highest degree. I want to live life to the fullest potential, right? I want to absorb every moment. I don't want to miss out on all the good things, the travel, the adventure. Freaking, I want the best of the best. I always have. So, um, like, who wants to be average? Like, okay, let's grow up to be average, just right in the middle. You don't want to stick your head up too high, right? You don't want to be uh, extraordinary. You just want to be an ordinary person. Make your little living. Have your retirement to grow old and die, and just be content. All right, just be content with that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that works for some people, but average is boring, man. Average is boring. Not that it's a shameful thing to be average either. Like sometimes I'm really average in a lot of things. But when I think about life, man, like I don't want to do things normal or settle for less, right? And I don't think you do either. I don't think anybody really wants to settle for less. I think people just get disappointed, and especially if someone's ahead of you, you're like, oh, you always need something to judge them, right? Oh, this person has all this energy, but they're on TRT. They're cheating, right? Goes back to that cheating thing. Anyway, I'm not here to do things average. I want the extraordinary. I want the best of the best. So, some side benefits, what I hope improves is recovery. I play a lot of pickleball. I like to recover faster. That'll be cool. Performance, yeah, heck yeah, man. More strength, more blood cells, red blood cells flowing in my body. It means I'll have more stamina, kind of similar to what I think creatine does, right? It gives me more energy, more ATP, right? Those fast, explosive movements. I freaking love the idea of that. Getting a little more shredded. Hell yeah, dude. I'm down for that. Uh, which is funny because at the start of me doing TRT is actually what I'm gonna be starting. I don't even do much weights right now, to be honest. I do some pull ups, push ups at home, but I'm gonna at least do weight training twice a week. So it's just funny because in 8 weeks from now, I'll be bigger regardless and more ripped and more toned because I'm starting to do weights. But now that I'm TRT, the improvements, the gains will definitely be significantly more. I don't know by how much, but I'm expecting it would be. And then another one, libido for sure. Like that would be awesome. Like I think that's a big part of a healthy marriage. And honestly, right now, it's like I don't have a strong desire every day. I'm not like the guy that's like wanting to smash every single day. Uh, and nor do I think I want to be. But once again, that's what makes a good sexual experience is an aggressive, that testosterone. Like that's a big part of a healthy sex life. So the more, and that's what makes a man initiate, right? And my wife, like any woman, wants to be pursued. So from my understanding, it only makes sense that'll improve the marriage as well. Yeah, and I think good old Chat GPT gave me a good conclusion here. Good job, Chatty. It gave me a good ending slide here. Why am I doing this? Ultimately, to have more energy, to love my family well. That's what it matters most to me. Is at the end of my days, it wasn't that I became a billionaire, millionaire. It wasn't that I was tried to be famous on social media or YouTube or to anybody else. It's that I mattered to my family, that I helped raise them well in the core values of the kingdom of God, that I showed them practical tools and equipped them to live life well. And then expanding that out to friends and family, being able to have the energy to do what I'm called to do in this life, right? That's what matters. So I'm excited to share the journey with you guys. This is fun because it's pre-starting, so I don't know what the experience is going to be, but I'll do another video probably after a couple months of doing it or a month or something, and we'll go from there.